This week in the field, taking the panning Ballhead out on its maiden voyage. Hey everyone, I'm Scott Davenport and welcome to In the Field. Thanks for joining me today. If this is the first time you're checking out one of my videos, thanks for giving me a shot. Hope you like what you see and you'll stick around, maybe subscribe to the channel. Well, today I'm talking about a panning Ballhead. Specifically, the one I have is this one here. It's from Really Right Stuff. This is a BH40, and yeah, it's a nice, good weight Ballhead, and I decided to get a panning base. I talked about this on a different vlog. I added some tripods to my kit. Why did I get them? Why did I get the panning head? Well, I like to do panoramas, hence the name panning head. And so it was time for me to get this out in the field, put it to the test, try it out. And what better place to do that than a view of San Diego downtown? Let me take you out there and show you how things went with this new Ballhead. Well, some really interesting clouds in the sky today. Unusual for San Diego. Big, puffy. Actually have a thunderstorm warning, although it does not seem to show any signs of raining anytime soon. I want to get some miles on the new tripod setup. The smaller legs, the panning head. So I'm going downtown. Where else better to take a panorama in San Diego? This is the perfect spot to work on some panos with this leveling base. Beautiful view of San Diego downtown, and certainly some uneven ground behind me. So what the panning base is going to let me do is separate the plane for panning and rotating from the plane of the base of my tripod, and be able to get a nice, smooth, consistent series of shots all the way across the skyline. I've got my fundamental settings dialed in, very simple, F8, and I'm just letting the camera meter for the exposure time right now. What I'm really concentrating on is getting the tripod balanced, and the base is not balanced at all. The level on the base is showing me all off kilter. I'm on uneven ground. But when I rotate the head of the tripods, let me loosen that up, and we move things around, there's a second level on the top of the panning head, and I get that dialed in right about there. Tighten it up, and now when I sweep, loosen up the panning head, and I sweep from left to right, this plane is nice and level. The horizon will be perfect all the way across from left to right. I won't get as much wobble happening like you normally do when you're trying to just use the legs. Now I'm just going to wait for the light to get a little bit nicer. There's a great bank of clouds behind the city. Hopefully they're going to catch some of the evening light before that sun gets swallowed up by the hills and marine layer that is to the west. Well, the panning worked great. I got a nice pano of the downtown skyline in San Diego. The colors in those clouds never did appear. Mid to late afternoon shot was pretty nice. I'll share that with you here. And it came out fine. The panning head did exactly what I thought it would do. I did find a limitation with it, and in the sense of, let me get this camera here. If you are just having the camera flat on, you've balanced the panning portion of the Ballhead, so that second leveling I showed you in the video there. You've balanced it there, and then you're just going to go pan like that. No problems at all. If you wanted to tilt the camera upward, well, now you've taken your panning level and tilted it this way, and then when you pan, you're going to have some wobble. You're going to introduce things. So I want to play with the panning head more. And I want to do a separate video actually comparing the panning head to leveling bases to see which ones make more sense. And there's a few things here. There's cost, there's type of style of shooting you're doing. Are you in the market for a new Ballhead or not? I think that's worthy of doing a separate video on. But I say for the tip of the week, the panning head to work really well. Just be aware that if you do tilt the camera upward or downward, you may want to zoom out a little bit to make sure you capture enough of the surrounding area so that you will introduce some wobble, and when you go and stitch them together in Lightroom or On One or whatever your software choice is, you've got a little more pixels to work with, and the stuff you throw away at the edges will be less. And that's going to do it for this week's In the Field. Hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know somehow. Comments on the video below, social shares, always appreciated. And if you got questions about photography, drop them in the comments, or if you want to keep it private, you can hit me up through my website. And I'll usually turn a response around within a day or two, so you're not going to have to wait around for another video before you hear back from me. And until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Happy shooting.